Hello and welcome to Labor Today magazine at labortoday.biz. I'm Jeff Allen. On this segment, we're going to delve a little deeper to learn more about VIP, how the organization got its start, why it's so successful, and where it's headed, from the two people who really know it best. Wendy Rogina, President and Chief Executive Officer, and her husband, Rick Rogina, Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. I had the opportunity to visit with them at VIP's corporate offices in Rancho Cucamonga. Wendy Rogina, Rick Rogina, thanks so much for taking some time. It's good to talk to you.
Yeah,
Great, thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Wendy, I'd like to start with you just a little bit. You know, most entrepreneurs, aspiring business people, they kind of start with the dream of building a successful business in the traditional sense. But, you know, VIP obviously is different in every way. Tell us a little bit about how the idea for VIP came about.
Well, it wasn't really like starting a business that anybody was familiar with. The concept of employment for people with disabilities was pretty new. And I think it was the overall general belief that Rick and I both had from firsthand knowledge that people with disabilities, developmental disabilities, could be a valuable labor resource to employers. And like I said, firsthand knowledge. I was working as a job developer for a company that provided work for people with disabilities in-house.
Yeah, and I basically was working with a company that actually used persons with disabilities to perform the work. Legislation came into pass on support employment to actually be mainstream now, and we looked at opportunity. This is incredible. She's got the programming experience. I got the manufacturing experience. We looked at it as a great tool, took opportunity, and made the most of it.
Yeah, and I tell everybody, our salespeople and our employers, you know, seeing is believing, and that's truly, I think, the basis of where we started, firsthand knowledge. And we bring all of our employers in to really see. You have to have a real feel for what people with disabilities can bring to the workforce and see what capabilities they have despite their disabilities.
So when you started, going back to the thought process in the very beginning, what were some of the things that you wanted to do better with VIP than some of the other organizations that were doing maybe not the same types of things, but were providing similar types of services?
Well, I think the thing I'd have to say first and foremost was that we wanted to build a business that didn't have to rely 100% on state dollars. And many of our competitors actually were in that situation. So we kind of built a business plan around that effort, and we looked to identify who our major competitor was in the employment arena, and that at the time was the employment agencies. So we actually carved out a little niche for ourselves, and we built upon that model of a temporary employment agency, just using a specialized workforce, being that with adults with disabilities. So we were able then to generate a whole nother revenue stream from our contracts that we established with our partnering employers.
Rick, let me ask you, in going back now, thinking about some of the challenges, and all new businesses face challenges, and I would imagine that in your industry there are some very specific challenges you had to overcome that may have seemed insurmountable, I suppose, at times. But what were some of those unique challenges that you faced? How did you handle them?
We had to, go sell our services. I mean, we're selling persons with disabilities to manufacture product, in the community, and the stigma was, people in wheelchairs and disabled. How are they going to do this? How are they going to get in the front door? How are they going to get that? ADA wasn't even out yet. I don't know when ADA actually started, but it wasn't initiated then. And the competitiveness of the TEB agency, we've seen the true value of what we do. High volume repetition, entry-level jobs. It worked. It worked. I was using the facility she worked at for 2 years prior to starting VIP, and they ended up doing probably 60% of my production within the first year. And the need for the entry-level jobs, the high turnover rates wasn't there. They were doing my work. The product was coming in quality controlled, price, cost effective.
We've made great strides. I mean, we get employers actually contacting us now, which is a great thing. And regarding the feedback, I would have to say that the feedback is pretty similar, from the small mom and pops to the big corporations. They find true value in the employees that we're bringing to them. They find that they come well prepared to do the job. They've got good work ethics. They're extremely dependable.
Our clients bring another level of employment to their workforce. At their lunch, at their break rooms, their lines of assembly. It's to see an individual that's not disabled complaining or fatigued due to a long day of doing repetition work, and you see a person with disability actually striving to do the job with a smile on their face, incredibly happy doing the job. It's very enlightening as an individual to see. We don't sell the sympathy part of what we do as a person with disabilities. It just comes naturally. It really does. And we sell the fact that we're a competitive, cost-effective labor force to actually compete for jobs in the entry-level job market.
And one of the things that really just automatically happens, it increases employee morale throughout all of these organizations. So, and we hear that time and time again.
Which has to make you feel obviously very, very good about yourselves, about what you're doing, and about VIP as an organization. And this kind of leads me into my next question then. What does VIP, and either one of you can answer, what does VIP do best to keep your customers happy? What is it that you think kind of makes VIP stand out and keeps these clients coming back and working with you year after year after year?
We do offer them training and support, and I think that's one of the big things. And we're flexible. We can meet pretty much any, or try to accommodate any employer's needs. We rarely say no to any job opportunity that's out there, whether it be a graveyard shift or a swing shift. We try to make it work as best we can. So again, flexibility and support for the employers, for our clients themselves, respect, choice, recognition, and then for our staff, good competitive wages and benefits, opportunities for advancement, and really an open door policy. We ask our staff for all kinds of input because we feel that they're at the forefront and they can help us to make the best changes and go in the right direction for the continuation of services.
And all of this leads to growth, obviously, and your company has grown by leaps and bounds, and you have three locations altogether, High Desert, San Bernardino, and of course here where we're talking with you here at your corporate office in Rancho Cucamonga. Tell me about any plans that you may have for growing VIP and kind of reaching out kind of beyond this region into other areas in Southern California.
We're structured right now with the 3 facilities that you talked about, where we cover a pretty good geographic catchment area. So at this point, facility-wise, we don't really have any immediate plans for expansion. We can provide employment services
throughout the
Inland Empire or Southern California, correct.
And with the cost of real estate, the investment, the capital gains on the capital investment on that, we feel very confident with the 3 facilities we have now to actually continue to serve the entire Southern California client base, as well as our corporate base and the demand for our labor force. And we can do it for these 3 locations.
And I think expansion, we're probably looking more at service expansion and coming up with some other models that are maybe missing in the industry today. We're trying to look at that currently and try to come up with something where we can bridge the gap of consumers, developmentally disabled consumers that are exiting the school system and need a little bit more of some technical trade training before we actually put them out into community employment. And again, we can better meet the employer's demands that way by providing them with a more highly qualified individual to start performing some of the skilled jobs, not just the entry-level jobs.
Yeah, there's a void there that's in there between the corporate levels of expectations, parents involved with clients that are coming, their sons and daughters that are coming out of the high school level that can't go on to college or can't go on in the community. What are they going to do? Well, we vocational train them as we've done the last 28 years. What she's talking about is truly like a VIP academy, a VIP tech school, to where they're going to come to the facility. We're going to teach them skilled labor within the needs of the community and corporate demands, from order pullers, scanning things, logistics services, data input, scanning, shredding, recycling. Those kind of things we can create our own tech development school on these issues where the clients would come to the facility, work on these trainings and these trades, have a have a graduate program that would be, 6 months to a year in the facility. Then we place them in those jobs that are truly trained to do that. Our clients are very high functioning, very capable of doing more than entry-level jobs, and we have dozens of them that do that. With 700 in our program currently today, every one of us is working.
And we feel we can definitely just be even that much more effective with the employers if we can, have a little bit more qualified and trained individuals to bring to them in the first place. So we can be looking at other opportunities.
On a day-to-day basis, what is probably the biggest obstacle you say that you think that you probably face, you have to deal with as a hurdle to your continued success in this industry?
It had to be funding. The funding, we battle the state budget every year. The fiscal budget comes in and funds in June 30th for July through June of every year. We battle that constantly. The perception of persons with disabilities working in the workforce, that's another big challenge. Obstacle we hurdle constantly with new employers. Veteran employers that we've worked with for over the years, they understand. They exactly understand and go down the ranks, and they understand exactly what we do. It's not an obstacle. But the new sales, definitely an obstacle. Definitely something we have to hurdle all the time.
Yeah, and on the state arena, again, having to continually educate the legislators, because they really control the purse strings. They hold the purse strings when our rates are being kind of chopped on the chopping block. So yeah, having to do that grassroots lobbying on a regular basis to make sure that they understand the importance of these types of programs and really what it's doing to our communities or for our communities and people with disabilities, how valuable the programs still are.
Our obstacles turn into basically challenges, and challenges turn into opportunities, and our opportunities turn into success. I mean, that's kind of been our motto and our guiding principles over the years, and I think we look at those obstacles as, again, challenges, and we've rose to the occasions and kind of put them behind us all the time.
So to kind of, I guess, close everything up here, this particular discussion, if you could think of one thing, maybe each of you, that you're most proud of concerning VIP and the work that you've done here, what would that one thing be? And Rick, we'll start with you.
Well, I mean, it's the number of lives we've touched. I mean, from our clients, like I said, we have 700 in our program today, and we've had several thousands over the years of 28 years we've served. Our staff, our employees we have, incredible people that have worked for us. We've seen their 20 years of experience in the company and their families grow. VIP is just a big family. I mean, it really is. We're open door policy like Wendy mentioned earlier. I'm just so proud of that. I hear it daily from our clients. I hear it daily from our employers, from our staff, how content they don't want to work anywhere else. We love VIP. And it's really, we take it with a grain of salt. I mean, we take it like, wow, that's how it should be. We were employees at one time, and we still are for VIP. We're just employees. And we know how employees like to be treated, and so we're going to treat them like the same way. And we feel with thousands and thousands of employees we've had over the years, we have very, very little turnover and very little disgruntled as far as that's incredible. Very proud of that.
And I would have to agree with Rick 100% on that. And we talk about that all the time, the opportunities and the positive way that we've touched so many lives. That's bottom line. It's been a feel-good thing for, almost 30 years.
Right, right.
Well, Wendy Rogina and Rick Rogina, you're doing great work here. VIP
Thank
obviously
you.
has made its mark in the area and in the industries that you guys touch. And I just want to thank you again for joining us today.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That's it for this segment of Labor Today. Thanks again to my guests, Wendy Rogina, President and CEO, and Rick Rogina, Vice President and COO of VIP. If you believe your business could benefit by employing reliable team members from VIP, simply contact VIP at 909-483-5924. You can also complete the form on the Contact Us page at VIPsolutions.com. If you'd like to view this segment again or any of our other Labor Today video segments, visit us 24/7 at labortoday.biz. And please share this video with others on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google+. I'm Jeff Allen. Thanks again for watching Labor Today magazine.